Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the secret rules of life. Think of it like the hidden operating system that connects every single living thing, from a tiny mushroom all the way up to a massive blue whale. So let's dive right in.
I mean, look at them. At first glance, they couldn't be more different, right? You've got one growing in the dark, another swimming deep in the ocean, and the third one just turning sunlight into something beautiful. But what if I told you that deep down, they're all playing by the exact same set of rules?
No, really, it's true. All of this incredible, mind-boggling diversity of life, we're talking everything from bacteria to blue whales, it all boils down to just 3 simple, elegant, unifying rules. So, you ready? Let's break down the very first one.
Okay, so our first secret rule is something you probably already get on a gut level. It's form follows function. And trust me, this is like the master design principle for literally everything in the natural world.
And this is way more than just a catchy phrase, What it really means is that the shape, the structure, the whole organization of any biological part, anything from a single cell to an entire animal, is perfectly, specifically tailored for the job it's supposed to do.
All right, perfect example. A bird's wing. It's not just some random mess of feathers and bone, right? The bones are hollow. They're incredibly lightweight. And that specific structure is precisely what makes the function, flight, even possible. It's genius.
Okay, now let's zoom in, like way in. Take a red blood cell. It's got this kind of weird, unique disc shape. It's indented on both sides. So why? Well, that particular structure maximizes its surface area. And that means it can grab and carry the absolute most oxygen possible with every single beat of your heart. That's form-enabling function, right down at the microscopic level.
And once you see it, this pattern is everywhere. Think about plant roots. They have these super fine thread-like hairs, right? That's all about creating a massive surface area to soak up water. Or, hey, even look in your own mouth. Your sharp front teeth, the incisors, they're for cutting. The flat ones in the back, your molars, they're for grinding. It's always about having the right tool for the job. All right, let's move on to rule number 2. This one is all about the economy of life, you could say. It's the flow of energy. So if structure is the what, then energy is the how. It's the fuel that powers the entire show.
And here's the absolute key to understanding it. Life doesn't run on magic. It's a master of energy conversion. See, no living thing just creates energy out of thin air. It just takes it from one form and transforms it into another. That's the whole game.
So check this out. This is basically the journey that energy takes. It almost always kicks off with the sun. Plants, what we call producers, they're the first ones to grab that solar energy. Then you have the consumers, animals, who get that energy by, eating the plants. And finally, when everything dies, the decomposers get to work, breaking it all down and recycling the raw materials back into the system. It's this beautiful, continuous loop.
And all that energy that's been captured and passed along, it's not just sitting around. It's the fuel for literally every single thing that makes something alive. We're talking about growing, healing a cut, moving around, even just keeping your body warm. All of it.
Which brings us, finally, to our third and final rule. And this one is the big one. It's the grand story that ties the entire history of life together. We're talking about evolution.
So, what is evolution? Well, at its heart, it's the story of how life changes over huge stretches of time. And the engine that drives it is something called natural selection. It's a pretty simple idea, really. If an organism has a trait that gives it an edge in its environment, it's more likely to survive, have babies, and pass that winning trait on to the next generation. The classic example you always hear about is Darwin's finches. Picture this. You've got these islands where the only food around is nuts with really tough shells. Well, the finches that just happen to have stronger, thicker beaks could crack them open and eat. The others, not so much. So over many generations, what do you think happened? That strong beak trait became the new normal. The environment basically picked the winner. And please don't think this is just some ancient history stuff. We see this happening right now, in our own lifetime, with antibiotic resistance. Every time we use antibiotics, we're creating an environment where only the toughest bacteria, the ones that happen to have some natural resistance, can survive. So they're the ones that multiply. And before you know it, you have a whole population of resistant superbugs. It's like watching evolution on fast forward.
So there you have it, our 3 rules.
Form follows function, the flow of energy, and evolution. But the real magic, the big aha moment, isn't just knowing the rules separately. It's seeing how they all weave together, how they interact to create the complete blueprint for life.
So let's just put it all together here. Structure and function, that's the design. The energy flow, that's the fuel. And evolution, well, that's the epic story of how that design changes and adapts over time. I mean, just think about it for a second. Evolution is what shapes a bird's wing structure to make it perfect for flying. That efficient structure, in turn, determines how much energy, how much food that bird needs to survive. So the design affects the fuel needs, and the whole history of survival is what shaped the design in the first place. See, they're totally, completely intertwined. And that, right there, is the ultimate takeaway. These aren't just, separate chapters in a boring textbook. They are the fundamental, recurring principles. They are the operating system that runs every single form of life you can possibly imagine.
So here's my challenge to you. The next time you see a tree, or a bird flying by, or heck, even when you just look in the mirror, ask yourself those questions. How is its structure built for its job? Where's its energy coming from? And what's the incredible evolutionary story that led it to be right here, right now? Because these secret rules, they're absolutely everywhere. You just have to know how to look for them.